Thanks for visiting our channel again. With a brilliant and mysterious life behind him, Clint Eastwood, whose name has become an eternal emblem of Hollywood, enters the age of 94. Behind the glitz and glamour, there is a man who lives in lavish, spectacular mansions, which are both refuges and reminders of the storms of life. His unusual directing style and tremendous performances have awed audiences. Due to his father's job, Clint Eastwood's upbringing was anything but idyllic. He was called Samson as a baby because of his unusually heavy birth weight. But these uncertainties shaped a man who, despite everything, persevered and eventually became a dominant celebrity. A real estate magnate, Eastwood owns opulent mansions from Hawaii to California, each of which tells a story of his life's triumphs and tragedies. Nonetheless, few people know this fact about him outside of his illustrious film career. Are Clint Eastwood's inner demons hiding in these lavish mansions, or are they just a reflection of his ostentation? Are the contemporary houses in Bel Air and Sun Valley, as well as the peaceful ranch in Carmel by the Sea, which he visits for solace, signs of a life well lived or masks for his inner turmoil? Clint Eastwood is a multifaceted legend, and the homes he has owned during his career serve as living monuments to his class and contrasts. Let us explore the secrets about these mansions. Clint Eastwood came from a mixed-race family in San Francisco, California, where he was born on May 31, 1930. His ancestry included German, English, Scottish, and Dutch ancestry. Samson was given the name by the hospital nurses because of his impressive stature. He weighed 11 pounds at birth, which was seen as a sign of power. But Clint had a really troubled youth. Because his father was a salesman, the family moved about a lot during the Great Depression. Clint developed the qualities that would come to characterize him as an adult: a strong feeling of independence and resilience. Despite the volatility he experienced as a child, the Eastwoods were able to live comfortably after relocating to Piedmont, California, where they had a pool and were members of many private clubs. However, Clint failed to thrive academically, going against the stereotype of a rich boy. 4 daring pranks, such as scribbling pornographic images on the report cardboard, he was demoted 1 grade and ultimately expelled from high school. Clint, in contrast to his bookish friends, spent his free time working on automobile engines, playing the piano until his fingertips bled, and fantasizing about grander adventures. These practical interests molded a persistent and imaginative man. Clint became a citizen in 1951, Army, and was sent to Fort Ord, California, to teach swimming. Prior to an extraordinary test of his mettle, his existence there appeared mundane. He had to swim 2 miles through freezing waters to survive when his plane had a major breakdown on the way back to the base from Seattle. He carried the scars of his near-death experience with him, and he used them as motivation to face each day with dogged resolve. Actors like Frank Morris in Escape from Alcatraz, who portrayed a character that needed endurance and determination, would eventually bring the same grit to the big screen. After Clint left the Army, he set out on a difficult path to become an actor. In the beginning, he worked as a lumberjack, a lifeguard, and even played the piano in bars in Oakland to make ends meet. Clint succeeded in landing a supporting role on Rawhide despite his lack of training as an actor. His depiction as Rowdy Yates was a watershed moment in his career, ushering him into Hollywood and shaping his signature stern, unyielding character. But Clint's meteoric rise to fame came from Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy. Redefining the cowboy hero, he was silent, cool, and incredibly powerful in his role as the man with no name. Not only did this trilogy catapult Clint to superstardom, but it also made Westerns famous all over the world. Actors of the future could learn from Clint Eastwood's iconic looks and movements from those films. With his performance as Dirty Harry, Clint Eastwood maintained his hegemony in the 1970s. Police Officer Harry Callahan was more than meets the eye. He personified the unyielding pursuit of justice. Clint is now indestructible in action flicks because to Harry, whose audacity and sporadic brutality made him one of the most iconic characters of all time. Still, Clint wasn't done yet. He decided to switch gears and become a director so he could have more say over his career. Not only did Clint Eastwood break barriers in the Western genre with 1992's Unforgiven, but he also demonstrated his directing chops. The story of a former gunslinger facing his demons in Unforgiven was just the tip of the iceberg. Redemption and inner turmoil were important themes in this epic. The picture took home 2 Oscars, Best Picture and Best Director, firmly establishing Clint as one of the all-time great directors. Clint kept pushing the envelope and trying new things in the years that came after. He explored the deep complexity of human relationships in the 2004 film Million Dollar Baby, in which he played a boxing coach who was troubled. In Gran Torino, he played the role of a grizzled soldier who forms an unlikely friendship with a family of immigrants and seeks purpose in life. Every part he played and every picture he was in contributed to the whole picture of Clint Eastwood, as did each new chapter in his career. Powerful, long-lasting, profoundly reflective, and empathetic. Clint Eastwood is still a towering figure in Hollywood, even after all these years. He is still going strong at 94 years old, standing behind the camera and making films that everyone will talk about for years to come. Beyond his acting and directing chops, Clint exemplifies the qualities of tenacity, dogged determination, and a can-do attitude. His life is an inspiration because it demonstrates how one person can triumph against tragedy and leave a lasting impression on the world. Beyond his legendary films and numerous accolades, Clint Eastwood will be remembered for much more. Its imprint is also visible in the places he has created. Mansions that are more than just dwellings. They tell tales of a rich lifestyle and exquisite taste. Each room in these mansions tells a story of a man with a complex vision, and the details of his remarkable journey and his victories are there for all to hear. Clint Eastwood is a dedicated real estate collector with impeccable taste, a deep appreciation for architecture, and a passion for the outdoors. He is also a movie legend. His class and important life events are mirrored in each house and ranch he owns. The properties, which range from lavish California mansions to tranquil Hawaii and Idaho retreats, each convey a distinct narrative of Clint's dynamic existence. In 2010, Clint bought in and constructed a vast compound in Carmel by the Sea, California, which he now owns, in the neighborhood of $20 million. Away from the hustle and bustle of Hollywood and life in general, this property is a tranquil sanctuary. With an excellent combination of Spanish architectural style and verdant natural settings, the 15,940 square foot compound is more than just a house. It is a monument to Clint's great aesthetic. After telling the story of how Carmel had been his ideal destination as a young soldier, Clint went on to make it a reality. Clint has 2 homes in the upscale Bel Air neighborhood of Los Angeles. One is a primary residence, and the other is a 6,136 square foot Spanish villa. The massive brick walls, red tile roofs, and elaborately carved embellishments give this mansion a classic charm that stands out with its timeless architecture and beauty. This house is more than simply a bed. It's a tranquil haven away from the hustle and bustle of city life. Extending beyond California, Clint's real estate endeavors highlight his affinity for locations that are enhanced by nature. The 1,167-acre Rising River Ranch and Castle is the perfect place to get away from it all in nature. It offers the ideal escape from the stresses of everyday life, providing vast landscapes and open areas that make one feel completely liberated. The Sun Valley, Idaho mansion belongs to Clint and is among his most impressive possessions. Amidst the unspoiled wilderness of Idaho, this 6,000 square foot contemporary craftsman villa stands out. Stunning views of the mountains and plenty of fresh air await Clint from this home. The home radiates relaxed elegance with its 5 bedrooms, study, and open floor plan that links the kitchen, living room, and dining room. On the property, you'll find a party barn perfect for small events and a man-made lake. However, Clint's realty empire extends beyond land. He also has a Hawaiian beachfront villa, which is like a little piece of paradise. This beachfront mansion was a 2012 featured property on the reality show Mrs. Eastwood and Company. It sits on a 1.13-acre site. It's more than simply a getaway. It's a sanctuary where Clint and his family can relax in the peacefulness of the ocean. Still, Clint's Mission Ranch in Carmel by the Sea is the real estate endeavor that means the most to him. It is evident that Clint has a profound admiration for history at Mission Ranch. Clint wasted no time stepping in when he learned that this property was slated for demolition in the 1980s to construct a more contemporary compound. He bought the 22-acre property for $5 million with the intention of restoring it to its former glory and preserving it for future generations. With its vantage point above the Carmel River's confluence with the Pacific Ocean, Mission Ranch was formerly a symbol of Carmel, but it deteriorated into a state of complete ruin over time. The buildings were in a state of disrepair, the plumbing and electrical systems were malfunctioning, and there was a significant danger that they may collapse. Clint did more than just fix the house. From carefully restored chimneys to painstakingly renovated interiors, he committed himself to preserving every detail's historical beauty. He went so far as to solicit input from co-workers on his film projects for the design, establishing Mission Ranch as an opulent and artistically rich environment. With its 31 luxurious guest rooms, world-class restaurant, and picture-perfect setting amidst verdant meadows where sheep graze as the sun sets in a golden glow, Mission Ranch has transformed into a one-of-a-kind resort. Clint considers Mission Ranch to be more than just a piece of land. Carmel has devoted a great deal of his life to preserving and improving this area, and it is now a testament to his legacy. If Clint's reverence for the past is on display at Mission Ranch, then his innovative and forward-thinking perspective is on display at Tehama Golf Club. A daring endeavor that blends unspoiled nature with contemporary luxury, Tehama is situated on the Monterey Peninsula. Located on more than 2,000 acres, Tehama Golf Club offers more than simply a golf course. It's a place to unwind, get in touch with nature, and take use of first-rate facilities. It took Clint a long time to plan and construct the club. In addition to my role as owner, I am a genuine golf lover. He had a lifelong ambition to design the ideal golf course ever since he worked as a caddy as a kid, and Tehama is the embodiment of that ambition. The 18-hole course at Tehama Golf Club takes full advantage of the scenic Santa Lucia Mountains and Monterey coast. That is not all, though. Built in the Spanish style, the 18,000-square-foot clubhouse features intricately designed elements. Everywhere you look, you can see Clint's fingerprints. In the antique chandeliers, the huge windows that frame breathtaking panoramas, and the use of rustic yet refined materials like pecan wood. The clubhouse was transformed from a mere golf course into an artistic sanctuary radiating coziness and closeness thanks to his invitation to Henry Bumstead, a seasoned partner in the film business, to lend a hand with the interior design. Not only are the scenery and architecture of Tehama Golf Club remarkable, but so is the club's emphasis on a tight-knit community. Clint kept the membership small, at 300 people, so that everyone could enjoy the peaceful coexistence of man and environment in an intimate and welcoming setting. Tehama is more than a golf course to Clint. It's a platform from which he preaches his message that humanity should seek fulfillment and harmony with the natural world, creative expression, and personal reflection. Tehama Golf Club and Mission Ranch are both representations of Clint Eastwood's life philosophy. He sees real estate as more than just a dwelling. It is a museum of cherished moments, a symbol of unwavering commitment. His doggedness, vision, and indomitable desire to create are evident in all of Clint's endeavors. Through his work rehabilitating a historic ranch and creating a world-class golf course, has demonstrated that he is more than just an actor. He is a maker of enduring legacies, of structures that embody his spirit and his passionate love of life. However, Clint Eastwood's personal life's ups and downs must be considered in order to fully grasp him, in which his relationships, triumphs, and tragedies have molded him into the person he is today. Private life, like his illustrious professional life, Clint Eastwood's private life is intricate and varied. His relationships and family have been in the spotlight despite his best efforts to remain discreet. Clint has had a long and eventful personal life, full of marriages, extramarital affairs, and the joy and sorrow of raising 8 children from 6 different mothers. At first glance, Clint's 1953 marriage to Maggie Johnson appeared to have a solid foundation. Having said that, Clint has never been a man of unfaltering dedication. A source of contention and lasting damage to their marriage was Clint's pattern of multiple extramarital encounters. Lori Murray, Clint's daughter, was born into one of his extramarital affairs, about which he was first blissfully ignorant. When Lori was born, she was placed for adoption. Clint's paternity was not revealed to her until the 1990s, when she conducted her own inquiry. Clint was happy to have Lori in his life when she came into it, although how he had been aware of her before is unclear. Also, while Clint was married to Maggie, he had an affair with stuntwoman Roxanne Tunis for 14 years, and they produced a daughter, Kimber. Clint's complex personal life seems to include adulterous romances. Even though Maggie knew about these extramarital activities, she still wanted to keep her marriage and raise her children, Allison and Kyle, with her husband. Clint and Sandra Locke's two-decade-long marriage ended in 1979 when reports of their connection began to circulate. Many see Clint's romance with Sandra Locke as the most contentious part of his romantic history. Their friendship blossomed after they met on the set of Josie Wales, the illegal film. Sandra decided to live with Clint even though her marriage was only formal. The romance between them, nevertheless, was anything but idyllic. Their relationship devolved into a web of emotional and psychological strife after Locke accused Clint of forcing her to undergo sterilization and abortions. Lawsuits and public controversies were the last results of their painful split. While Clint was seeing Locke, he had two additional children, Scott and Catherine, in secret with flight attendant Jocelyn Reeves. Only after the children were adults was Clint's paternity discovered, after years of complete secrecy surrounding the relationship. As time went on, Scott, the eldest son, also found success in the acting world, frequently citing Clint as an inspiration for his tenacity and self-control. Clint met actress Frances Fisher in the early 1990s, and she was a rock for him while he was going through a rough patch. Their daughter Francesca was born to them, but they also had a short-lived romance. Dina Ruiz was a young news journalist when Clint wed her in 1996. Dina was a breath of fresh air for Clint, and Morgan was born to them. During this time, he had the greatest sense of personal tranquility. The exposure of Dina's private life on a reality TV show, nevertheless, made Clint uneasy. Over time, their marriage began to deteriorate and finally ended in 2013. Christina Sandera is a worker in the hospitality industry, and Clint has kept their relationship under wraps in recent years. At the end of Clint's life, this partnership is said to be stable and peaceful. Despite his troubled love life, Clint has always made an effort to have a strong bond with his children, and that is what makes him stand out. Many of his friends and family members have commented on how dedicated Clint is to his children, saying that he does his best to give them a regular existence away from the spotlight of Hollywood. Clint Eastwood is a complex man, full of internal contradictions, and his personal life reflects that. It is more than just a story of relationships and family. It is a mirror of his character. Though divisive, his romantic decisions show that he is genuine and not afraid to deal with the fallout of his feelings. Clint Eastwood's complex and multidimensional personality is reflected in his turbulent personal life. A legendary figure whose spirit is complex beyond comprehension. Even at the age of 94, Clint Eastwood continues to inspire and motivate people through his films and the way he gracefully accepts and even loves his own aging process. Time has not dampened Eastwood's aura of serenity, resolve, and limitless vitality. His present life is a balance of steady commitment to his work, peaceful times with loved ones, and the constant work of leaving a legacy. Clint Eastwood's 2024 judicial thriller Juror No. 2, which he co-wrote and produced, further solidified his reputation. The film, which follows a juryman as he learns he might be guilty of the victim's murder in the case he's overseeing, demonstrates not just Eastwood's incisive directing instincts, but also his determination to ignore the constraints imposed by his advanced years. Juror in AF2, which stars Nicholas Hoult and Toni Collette, has been well received by critics and further proves that Clint Eastwood is one of the most innovative filmmakers working in Hollywood today. Although he is most known for his cinematic roles, Clint Eastwood has also been a guest at several important cultural events, like the 2024 Monterey Jazz Festival Honors. In particular, his tremendous impact on movies and music was recognized with the Clint Eastwood Cultural Leadership Award, which he received at that event. Besides showcasing Eastwood's ever-present presence in the arts world, this event gave him a chance to spend time with his family, particularly his gifted jazz musician son, Kyle. These days, Clint isn't letting his career consume him. Kyle, Allison, Scott, and Francesca are his children, and he has close relationships with each of them. His children hold him in high esteem. Instead of forcing his creative path on his children, Eastwood encourages them to follow their dreams and do what makes them happy. Many times, Scott Eastwood has mentioned how his father has been an enormous influence on him, teaching him discipline and perseverance and showing him how to face adversity head-on. Beyond his legendary films and numerous accolades, Clint Eastwood's impact reaches far and wide. His work in creating and maintaining cultural and historical values is more evidence of this. Tahama Golf Club and Mission Ranch are more than just real estate projects. They represent his own ideology. In order to show respect for the natural world, maintain cultural heritage, and benefit the community for the long haul. Once a rundown property about to be demolished, Clint transformed Mission Ranch into a one-of-a-kind resort that captures the essence of Carmel by the sea. His enduring vision is exemplified by Tahama Golf Club, which seamlessly blends natural beauty with luxury. Even in his latter years, Clint Eastwood continues to make a difference. Unyielding and creative, he embodies an unstoppable attitude. Everything about his life shines through, from the movies he directs to the properties he restores and the encouragement he gives to new generations. The way Clint lived his life is just as important as the things he made. A life of boundless curiosity, never-ending education, and making an indelible impression on his devoted followers. Aging is not the end for Clint. It is the beginning of a new chapter in his uplifting journey. Clint Eastwood has had a great journey. What are your thoughts on it? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, please subscribe to our channel and enable notifications so you don't miss any of our future captivating stories. My sincere appreciation for your time. Till our next video, take care. Leave it.